Life isn't a pre-written story. It's not a script set in stone dictating how your journey unfolds. The pages ahead, blank, unwritten, waiting for you to decide what gets written next. But here's the real question. Who's holding the pen? Is it you? Or is it your past, your doubts, your fears? Too often people live as if their struggle has already been decided. They resign themselves to struggle, telling themselves this is just how it is. But that's a lie. The truth? You have more power than you realize. Think about this. If today was the first page of a brand new book about your life, what would you write? Would it be a story of strength, of rising above, of finally stepping into the life you were meant to live? Or would it be the same tired chapters of hesitation, self-doubt, and missed opportunities? This is your moment to take control, to stop waiting and start creating, because no matter where you've been, no matter what's happened before, the future is still yours to define. And if you have the courage to seize it, you can rewrite everything. Have you ever felt like your past defined you? Like no matter how hard you try, you're stuck inside the same story, replaying the same struggles, making the same mistakes? If that question hits a nerve, good, because that's exactly where change begins. Too many people live shackled to their past. Mistakes they regret, failures that haunt them, words spoken over them that made them feel small. But let me tell you something. Your past is not a prophecy. It's a chapter that can be closed. But first you have to face it. No more sugarcoating, no more excuses. Look at where you've been and ask yourself, am I still letting this control me? Am I still carrying weight that isn't mine? The hardest truth you'll ever accept is that the only thing keeping you in the past is you. But here's the good news, you can let go. You can make the choice right now to stop letting yesterday dictate tomorrow. The question is, will you? Everybody struggles. Everybody. But the biggest mistake people make is believing they struggle alone. Maybe you feel like life is against you. Maybe every time you take a step forward, something pulls you back. Maybe you've been trying so hard to change, only to fall back into the same patterns, the same habits, the same doubts. Sound familiar? Here's what you need to understand. Struggle is not a stop sign, it's a doorway. A doorway most people never step through because they convince themselves that struggling means failing. It doesn't. Struggling means you're fighting. And fighting means you haven't given up. But what separates those who break free from those who stay stuck? One thing: awareness. Awareness of the invisible chains holding them back. Because you can't fix what you refuse to see. And if you're willing to face your struggles head on, you're already closer to breaking through than you think. Now that you've confronted where you are, let's talk about where you're going. Because real change isn't just an idea, it's a process. Transformation doesn't happen by accident, it happens by decision. And if you're serious about rewriting your life, you need a clear path forward. Here's how it starts. Understand the power of choice. Every action, every decision, every mindset shift begins with choosing to take responsibility. Identify the habits, thoughts, and environments keeping you stuck. You can't change what you ignore. Redefine what success looks like for you. Forget the expectations placed on you. Define your own terms. Commit to daily action. Change isn't about one big breakthrough, it's about small, consistent steps. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not hold you back. The people around you shape the person you become. This isn't about motivation, it's about direction. And if you're ready to take that first step, you're already ahead of 90% of people who never will. This is the moment where you decide whether today is just another day or the first day of something greater. You've seen the weight of the past. You've acknowledged the struggles. You understand the process. Now it's time to commit. No more waiting, no more someday. It starts now. Because the truth is, the greatest version of you is not some far-off dream. It's already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. And the only thing standing between you and that future is the choice you make right now. Are you ready to write the next chapter? Most people don't like mirrors. Not because of what they see on the surface, but because deep down, they know they aren't looking at their reflection, they're looking at their excuses. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you really looked at where you are? When is the last time you stopped making excuses and admitted that you're not giving life everything you've got? This is the hard truth. You can't fix what you refuse to face. And most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they avoid the truth. They tell themselves comforting lies instead of dealing with reality. They blame circumstances, timing, other people, anything but themselves. But you're not here to play that game anymore. You're here to own your life, to stop lying to yourself, to stop making excuses, to stand in front of the mirror and say, I am responsible for my own future. The second you do that, everything changes, because from that moment on, you take back your power. And when you have power, nothing can stop you. Regret is one of the heaviest things a person can carry. It lingers, it weighs you down, and worst of all, it steals your time. Every second spent thinking about what could have been is a second you're not using to build what could be. But here's what most people don't realize. Regret isn't just about the past. It's about the present. Right now, in this very moment, you're either making decisions that will bring you closer to the life you want, or decisions that will lead to more regret. There is no in between. Fear keeps you from moving. Inertia keeps you stuck. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free. The job you never applied for, the risk you never took, the words you never said. They don't just fade away. They turn into regret, and regret turns into chains. But chains can be broken. And it starts by asking yourself one simple question. Do I want to keep living like this? Because if the answer is no, then today is the day you stop looking backward. Today is the day you move. Nobody likes struggle. But here's the thing. Struggle is often the best teacher you'll ever have. Think about the hardest moments of your life, the times you thought you wouldn't make it, the days where everything seemed against you. Now think about what came next. Maybe you didn't realize it at the time, but those moments weren't just suffering. They were shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for something bigger. Every setback carries a hidden opportunity. Every challenge you face is a doorway. Either you walk through it or you stay stuck on the other side. But the people who go the farthest in life, they don't just endure hardship, they use it. They take their pain and turn it into fuel. You can do the same. Every obstacle in front of you is a lesson, a stepping stone, a test of how bad you want it. So the next time life knocks you down, don't just ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because the sooner you learn the lesson, the sooner you move forward. Comfort zones are dangerous, not because they feel good, but because they trick you into thinking that just getting by is enough. Let's be real. If your life looks the same today as it did last year, that's not stability, that's stagnation. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, when you push past the limits you thought you had. But most people don't do that. They stay where it's safe, where it's easy, where they don't have to face failure, and that's exactly why they never change. So ask yourself, what's one thing I've been avoiding because it makes me uncomfortable? Is it a tough conversation, a bold career move, a personal challenge you keep putting off? Whatever it is, that's the thing you need to do. Because real change starts where comfort ends. Enough waiting, enough thinking, enough making plans, but never following through. At some point you have to make a choice. You can either stay where you are, comfortable, predictable, stuck, or you can step into something new, something better. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to hand you a different life. If you want change, you have to create it. That means showing up every single day, even when it's hard. That means refusing to settle, even when quitting feels easier. Because here's the truth. If you don't change your story, nobody else will. The only question left is, what are you waiting for? Before you rewrite your story, you have to understand the one you're living right now. Take a step back. Look at your life as if you were reading it in a book. If someone else were living your exact experiences, would you be proud of their choices? Or would you want to shake them, tell them to wake up? Tell them to do something different. The truth is, most people never stop to assess their lives. They go through the motions, doing what they've always done, not because it's working, but because it's familiar. But familiarity isn't the same as fulfillment. And if you don't like the story you're living, you have two choices. Keep repeating it or start writing something new. Which one will you choose? Look closely at your life and you'll notice something. Patterns. The same problems, the same setbacks, the same frustrations, all showing up in different ways. That's not coincidence, that's a cycle. And if you don't break it, it will keep repeating. Maybe you've noticed this in your relationships, maybe in your career, maybe in the way you always start something new but never finish. It's not bad luck, it's a pattern. And the only way to break a pattern is to become aware of it. So what's yours? What's the thing that keeps holding you back? The belief you keep falling into, the excuse you keep making? Find it, call it out. Because once you see it, you can change it. Most people don't change because they think they're powerless. They believe that life just happens to them. But that's not true. You have power more than you think. Think about it. Every choice you make, every action you take, every habit you build, they're all shaping your future. You are not a victim of your past. You are the architect of your future. And if you have the courage to own that truth, you can rewrite everything. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Your power isn't coming someday, it's here right now. The only thing left to do is use it. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your life exactly the way you want it. Not just a dream, not just a vague hope, but a reality. What do you see? Who are you in that vision? What kind of choices are you making? What kind of life are you leading? Now ask yourself, what's stopping me from making that real? Because here's the truth. If you can imagine it, you can create it. If you can see the person you want to be, then that means that person already exists inside you. They're just waiting for you to step up and become them. This isn't just about thinking differently, it's about becoming different. And that begins with one step, believing that change is possible. Everything starts with awareness. You can't fix what you ignore. You can't change what you refuse to face. And the first step to rewriting your life is recognizing that you can. So take a deep breath, take a look at where you are. Accept it not as a permanent reality, but as a starting point. Because the second you do that, you take back control. The journey ahead isn't easy, but it's worth it, and it begins now. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory or defeat begins. If you believe you're trapped, you are. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll never reach for more. The chains that hold most people back aren't physical, they're mental. They are the thoughts that whisper, you can't do this, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. But let me ask you, who put those thoughts there? Were they born inside you or were they planted by someone else? A bad experience, a painful rejection, a lifetime of hearing no until you believed it yourself? These beliefs don't serve you. They don't protect you. They don't define you. They are the walls of a prison you were never meant to stay inside. And the only way to break free is to challenge them. From this moment on, question every thought that tells you you're not enough. Every time you hear that voice of doubt, ask yourself, is this true or is this just fear? Because once you see fear for what it is, just an illusion, it loses its power. Obstacles are not the problem. The real problem is how you respond to them. Some people see an obstacle and stop. They freeze, they complain, they give up. Others, they find a way through, around, over. They refuse to accept defeat. The difference isn't luck, it's strategy. You need a game plan. So here it is. Identify the challenge, be specific. What exactly is holding you back? Is it fear, a lack of resources, self-doubt? Break it down. Every mountain is climbed one step at a time. What's the first thing you can do? Start there, look for alternatives. There's always another way forward. Maybe you don't need a new job, you need a new skill. Maybe you don't need approval, you need action. Stay relentless. If one approach doesn't work, try another. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to stop. So the next time you hit a wall, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, how do I get through? Because there is always a way. Strength is not built in comfort. It's built in struggle. Think about the strongest people you know. Did they have easy lives? Or did they walk through fire and come out the other side stronger? Every hardship you face is a chance to build resilience. But most people don't see it that way. They see challenges as punishments, as proof that life is unfair. But you need to see them for what they really are. Training. You are being shaped, forged. Every time you push through a hard moment, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you build endurance. And the more you endure, the more unstoppable you become. So stop running from the struggle. Lean into it, because one day you'll look back and realize every challenge made you who you are today. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Some of the most successful people in history failed more times than most people even tried. The difference? They used their failures as fuel. They didn't see setbacks as the end of the road, they saw them as lessons. Every failure holds a lesson, but only if you're willing to look for it. So when something doesn't work out, don't just get frustrated. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What can I do differently next time? How can I turn this into an advantage? Because once you start using setbacks as setups for success, failure loses its grip on you. You stop fearing it, and when you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen when you commit to a process. Here's how you start reinventing your life. Decide who you want to be, not just what you want to have, but who you need to become to get there. Eliminate distractions. Cut out everything that doesn't serve your growth. Negative influences, toxic environments, useless habits. Take action daily. Small, consistent steps build momentum. One day of effort won't change your life, but 100 will. Track your growth, write it down, keep yourself accountable. Progress, no matter how small, matters. Keep going. The only way to fail is to stop. And if you refuse to stop, you will succeed. Your future is not waiting for you, it's waiting for you to create it. A life without goals is a life without direction. You don't get where you want to go by accident, you get there by design. So ask yourself, what do I want? Not what others expect, not what sounds nice. What do you truly want for your life? Once you know, break it down. What does success look like? In 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, what actions will take you there? What sacrifices are you willing to make? Goals are the foundation of change. Set them, commit to them, and don't stop until they're reality. Your mind is your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. It all depends on how you use it. Every day, tell yourself the truth. I am capable, I am strong, I am in control of my life. Say it until you believe it, because the words you speak become the reality you live. If you want to change, you need a plan. Here's a tool to help: journaling. Write down where you are, where you want to be, and what's stopping you. Clarity is key. Self-reflection questions. Every night ask, did I grow today? Did I make progress? What will I do better tomorrow? Visualization. Spend 5 minutes every morning picturing your future self. Strong, confident, successful. The more you practice change, the more natural it becomes. Nothing works without consistency, and the key to consistency, accountability. Find someone who will push you, set reminders to check your progress, stay disciplined even when motivation fades, because in the end, the people who win are the ones who refuse to stop. Change doesn't come from thinking about it, it comes from doing it. Starting tomorrow, wake up with intention, set 3 goals for the day. Take action, no excuses. End the day with reflection, do this every day, and watch your life transform. Success isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about appreciating how far you've come. Celebrate your small wins. Acknowledge your growth, and most importantly, keep going. Because this is just the beginning. Your life is waiting, your future is calling. You have 2 choices: keep waiting or take control. The power is in your hands. The only question is, what will you do with it? This is your moment, your turning point, your chance to rewrite everything. Don't waste it. Most people only celebrate the big wins, the promotions, the breakthroughs, the major life changes. But what they don't realize is that success isn't built in a day, it's built in moments. The small victories matter. Every time you choose to show up, to push through, to stay disciplined when nobody's watching, that's progress. And progress, no matter how small, deserves recognition. Think about where you were 6 months ago, a year ago, the struggles you faced, the doubts that held you back. Now look at yourself today. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you're further than you were before, and that counts. So take a moment to honor that, to acknowledge how far you've come, because success isn't just about reaching the destination, it's about appreciating the journey. Every step you've taken, every challenge you faced, every time you kept going when you could have quit, it all adds up. Most people underestimate the power of small, consistent efforts. They think transformation comes from a single life-changing moment. But the truth, it comes from the daily grind. The hours spent working when nobody's watching. The silent battles fought inside your mind. Look back at your journey, see the patterns. See the moments where you almost gave up, but didn't. Understand that every struggle, every setback, every ounce of effort you've poured into this journey has built you. This isn't just about where you're going, it's about who you've become along the way. Confidence doesn't come from wishing. It comes from proving to yourself that you're capable. Every time you push through fear, every time you take action despite doubt, every time you see progress, you reinforce one simple truth: I can do this. And that truth is what fuels everything. Because once you know you're capable, nothing seems impossible anymore. This is why small wins matter. Because confidence isn't built overnight. It's built one success at a time. So keep stacking those wins. Keep proving to yourself that you're stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever thought. Because the more you do, the more unstoppable you become. Change isn't just something you experience, it's something you solidify. The best way to make progress permanent, celebrate it. Set aside time every week to reflect on what you've accomplished. Keep a journal of your wins, big and small. Reward yourself for sticking to the path even when it was hard. Because when you celebrate progress, you reinforce it. And when you reinforce it, you make it your new reality. It's in the end, it's the beginning. You've come this far, and that means you have the power to go even further. The question now is, what's next? What's the next challenge you're going to take on? The next goal you're going to crush? The next version of yourself that you're going to build? Because growth is never finished, and if you want to keep rising, you have to keep moving. So don't stop now. Don't settle. Keep going. Because the best version of you, it's still ahead. Look at what you've done. Look at where you've been. Look at the choices you've made to get here. You started at a crossroads. Unsure, stuck, questioning if change was even possible. But step by step, you broke free. You faced the truth. You challenged your limits. You built the mindset, the habits, the discipline that transformed you. And now, you stand on the edge of something greater. This isn't just theory. This isn't just theory. This is your life. And everything you need to create the future you want is already inside you. Now it's time to step forward and claim it. You have everything you need. You know how to challenge your limits. You know how to overcome fear. You know how to build resilience, to push through struggle, to keep going even when it's hard. And most importantly, you know you're capable. So from this moment forward, no more second guessing. No more waiting for permission. No more wondering if you deserve to win. You do. And now you know how to make it happen. Too many people live their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect time. But let me tell you something. Waiting is a trap. There will never be a perfect moment. The stars will never align just right. If you keep waiting, you'll be in the same place a year from now, 5 years from now. The only way to change your life is to act right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. So make the decision, take the step, because every second you delay is a second you can never get back. No more excuses. No more blaming circumstances, bad luck, or the past. From this moment on, you own your future. Every decision, every action, every moment, you take full responsibility. Because here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. Your life is in your hands. Your success is your responsibility, and that's a good thing because it means you have the power to change everything. So own it, step into it, and never look back. This is it, the final moment, the last reminder that your future is waiting for you to take control. So ask yourself, what will I do with this moment? Will I let it pass me by, or will I use it to ignite something unstoppable? The choice is yours. It always has been. And now, it's time to make it. Stand up, step forward, and start building the life you were meant to live. You are no longer the person who started this journey. You have faced your fears, you have challenged your limits, you have proven to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. Now, the only thing left to do is keep going. Because transformation is not a single moment, it's a lifelong commitment. And as long as you keep pushing, keep growing, keep striving for more, you will never stop rising. This message isn't just for today, it's for every day. Whenever you doubt yourself, whenever you feel stuck, whenever the world tries to pull you back, remember this. You have the power, you always have, and nothing can take that away from you. So, keep fighting, keep building, keep becoming. Because your story is far from over. This is not the end, this is the beginning. Take everything you've learned, take everything you've felt, take every fire that's been lit inside you, and go, build, rise, win, because the life you've always wanted, it's waiting for you to claim it.